Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. And of course, we got the QR code, if I can get it up here. the QR code for homage. All right, you got the QR code for homage right here, 50% off. It's gonna be edited, but I was struggling to get it up, so that's why you saw the little circle around to this. So I'm out myself there. But yeah, you got the QR code.
That real quick. We need to clip that quote on there.
Yeah, I got the homage up there, and of course, hit the TDL store, tapedontlie.store. All right, guys. All right. So, but today we're doing some good draft stuff. We're doing Dante Corleone and Eric McAlister. So wide receiver Eric McAlister, I've been getting asked about all the time. It's like every single Friday Night Live, like, Marcus, check out Eric McAlister. I think it's the same guy, Taddy07. I think he lets me to check out Eric McAlister. So I did. I checked it out. It's some good stuff. And then you're doing Dante Corleone, the big boy who was supposed to be a superstar and had a little medical issue.
Yeah, no, that's pretty. I mean, that pretty much sums him up pretty well. It's funny, like Dante Corleone, like I've probably watched him more than any draft prospect in this year's class, because it was after I think his sophomore season. So yeah, going into his junior year, where like he like kind of lit it up and got some buzz, and like he started getting some draft buzz. So then he kind of like, then it was Cincinnati made the jump to the Big 12, wasn't as dominant as he was in the American as like a redshirt freshman or whatever it was. And then in 2024, heading into the 2024 season, got diagnosed with blood clots and like had to miss, I think, like a good portion of their off-season program. And then like the beginning of the season, he ended up playing that year. I don't know specifically. I was trying to find out before this if there was anything like public about like what he can and can't do as far as practice wise, but I can tell you he's not the same guy he was a couple of years ago. What I do like about his game, why we're doing him and why we're even talking about him, is I do think he can be like that gap plugging nose tackle for you. But the big difference between him and like 2023 or 2020 or 2022 and even 2024 to a certain extent is he's not as nearly as movement skills have declined like pretty significantly, where like he used to be able to like have the strength to like stack up an offensive lineman and then have the agility and quickness to cross their face and make a bunch of plays. He did that occasionally this past season, but it wasn't nearly as frequently. And he just basically became like a guy that eats up space in the middle. And one thing I like about his game is I think he does a good job of like of tying up offensive linemen at the line of scrimmage and like freeing up linebackers and stuff like that. But he's like the pass rush upside is pretty much non-existent at this stage. And like that's kind of like what he's just become. Like that's just the role he's like ended up being in, where he just doesn't make a ton of plays. Like this past year, I think he only had like 15 tackles, which is not something I'm terribly concerned about with the nose tackle, but you would like to see a little bit more production. And that's why we're talking about him being a day 3 guy. And I will throw the caveat out there that because of the medical issue, he's a guy that it's tough for us to project that aren't in the league circles, that don't get access to those medical records. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going undrafted because of how the medicals check out. So he's a guy that I think kind of has a wide range in that regard. And it just depends on how the Raiders or any other team in the league like feels with his blood clots. I mean, if you guys remember, what was it, 6-7 years ago now when Trey Smith was coming out, he had a little bit different. He had a heart condition, so that was a little bit more severe. He was kind of in the same boat where like Trey Smith was a first-round talent. Not that Dante Corleone is anymore, but Trey Smith was a first-round talent. Medical issues come out, and all of a sudden he slides to the 6th because it was like he had this practice plan where he basically couldn't practice every couple of weeks. And with Dante, with him like specifically, like part of the reason why I feel like there are some sort of limitations is he's put on a considerable amount of weight. Like to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, like we're going to be looking at clips from 2023, 2024, and 2025. So you guys will get a good grasp of kind of the change that he's made. And I kind of wanted to highlight that. So like, you can see what he was if he can keep his weight down and if he can kind of keep that under control. You also see what he's been in the last couple of years where he's not quite as dynamic as he once was. So
yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of, again, do you trust the medicals? Do you feel like you can get him back to that, like that 2023 form where he was a little bit more, he was a little quicker and stuff like that, or is he what he is at this point? And this is kind of where he's at. Like I think he was at 318.
Yeah.
And his
combine.
No, he was at 318 like in 2023. So when he had his really good season, and then I think he blew up like 340 at one point. Yeah, like one of the.
Oh, he is 340 right now.
Yeah, so, and it's not not good weight, and he's only about he's under 6'1", I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, he just again to paint the picture. So I know he's been requested, and he's a guy that I like his game, and I like what he can bring to the table a little bit, but there is some red flags that can be concerning and could end up costing him in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's just right now he's just a big Gilbert Brown type of player, basically at this point. Kind of just space eater. Really doesn't shed off blocks or anything like that. But he does do a good job at that. I mean, that's the thing with about him. Like you could say a lot of those other things, and people are still kind of living off that hype. But yeah, if you're 318 at one point, and now you're 340, bro, like it's no. We'll see. Maybe he lose that weight. I mean, it's still a possibility. So I mean, that's just really what you got to do. You got to get him. You got to get that weight down. So he can get.
He's that weight and under 6'1" to paint the picture, and he's got like what you're talking about with like the block, getting off blocks and stuff. He's got really short arms, and even some of the tackles he makes, you see that show up where he just struggles to disengage. Like got offensive linemen, like even when he locks people out, he's like they can still kind of hold on to him because he's got such short arms.
Yeah, I wonder where he goes. Zerline has around 7th grade, so
I can see that
preferred free agent. So I wonder where he goes. I do wonder if he gets drafted. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one for sure.
All right, so I'm going over probably a day 3 receiver, but he's a pretty good player. Eric McAlister from TCU. He has like a lot of big games. So he has a game where he caught 156, another one we caught 254, and 1, 2, 3, 4 other 100-yard games. So I mean that's about 600-yard games, 200. 1 over 150. So he has some like really explosive games. And one reason is because he's hard to tackle in open field, and then he has a pretty good long speed. So I was trying to pull up his
40.
Yeah, it's 40 time because he's 6'4" too. He's 6'4". He's a big body guy. The thing is he's so lean. He's 194. So since he's so lean, like the contested catches aren't really going to be there. And he didn't run in the 40s. So I don't know what his pro day was. I may have to look that up. But he's got a lot of long speed, though. So, and you can see that on the field. I mean, he's running away from people. That's where a lot of his big game against SMU came from, him just breaking tackles and taking it slant 80 yards and things like that. So he could do a lot of big plays with him. I would just say that, he's not a – I mean – he's basically how Dante Thornton is at the catch point. If I want to give fans something that they could, look at, that reflect on, it is Dante Thornton, but like with great routes. And this is different from like Brazel. Like Brazel's he's a physical. He wants the ball in the air. He's going to do whatever it takes to get that football. You know what I mean? So if you remember that film, so because one thing you notice about him is that he had 7 interceptions thrown his way. I feel like that's a lot.
Damn. That is...
and he was contested catches. He's 11 out of 29, 37%. So you could see that maybe Hoover trusted him maybe a little bit too much. Even the SMU game I watched where he had the 254, they threw him a 1-on-1 ball and he lost. He picked it off. You know what I mean? So at the catch point, he's not going to be that explosive player. But I think what he is kind of like a move around guy that I think that Kubiak might like, though, because I think if you can move him around, get him one-on-ones on safeties, again on some deep routes and things like that, he could be really explosive, especially like you get him on some inside routes and you move him around a lot and just don't play him at X where he's trying to catch fade routes. I mean, this is not his game, really. You got to make sure that you move him around. He's a Z in my opinion, like where you can put him in the slot a little bit, big Z, and then you can maybe at the X, like get certain coverages where he's not facing press. Not that I said he can't beat press coverage, but it's more about like what I would say that he can't really just get physical that much there. So it's going to be some corner that's going to wipe him out. It's going to be a long corner, some corner you're going to face a couple weeks. They're just going to wipe him out if you try to keep him outside. So you got to move him around a little bit. But I think there is something there. There is something there if you move him around. He's just not going to be that contested catch guy, just throw it up type of player.
Yeah. I was pulling him up on the beast from Dane Brugler, and he had a 40 at the pro day at 4.5 or 4.53. So not great long speed, but not terrible at the same time. The one that the number that really jumped out at me and it makes sense with the contested catch struggles, 28.5-inch vertical, which is pretty low.
Wow.
So
I see why he didn't do anything. Is he hurt? I see why he didn't do anything at the combine.
So it says he had a right knee limited workout for the combine. So yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I
don't know. I kind of see the vert. It makes sense.
Yeah, if you're a tall guy that struggles to win contested catches, that's part of it too. And on top of not being maybe the most physical and being a beanstalk out there at 6'4", 190. Although his pro day they had him at 210. I don't know if that feels like a little bit like a TCU inflating him. I don't know many guys that put on 15 pounds that quickly.
Yeah, a lot of water weight there. That's some water weight. You know what I'm saying? All right. Before we get into the film, John Spytek had his press conference today as we're filming this show. He has a little press conference. Somebody wanted to trade up. Right? He's got calls for it, right? And I'm sure that they're coming up to take Arvell Reese, not Mendoza. They're not coming up to take Mendoza. They want Arvell Reese. And also, he basically said we're drafting safeties. Yeah. So
I was gonna say when they didn't go after like any of the safeties in free agency, I had a pretty good feeling. I mean, the same thing with nose tackle. I had a pretty good feeling like they want to go after that safety class. And I think one of the things that he spoke about and he kind of alluded to was he said he liked like the way this draft class lines up. And I can completely see that. There's a ton of good free safeties in this year's draft class. Like I think you can get a really good one at 67. That's someone we talked about. That's like the Bud Clark range, maybe AJ Halsey, who we got in your mock draft last week. So we just did one over at BR, and Halsey he went in the second round, but late second. So maybe he ends up sliding at that spot too. But yeah, I think they'll have options at 67 at free safety. Like I mentioned before, there is kind of like this weird like drop off. I feel like from like the three safeties who might go in the first round: Caleb Downs, Dylan Thieneman, and Emmanuel Neil Warren, and then Halsey. Where like Halsey at 36, I don't know if I'd be that hot on, but 67, if he slides that far, I'd be pretty stoked. And I mean, there's guys like Bud Clark, Genesis Smith, Kamari Ramsey, even too, like that you can kind of throw in there that are options at that spot too. So
yeah,
him saying that kind of confirmed a little bit and made me feel a little bit better about myself because I'm watching these safeties and pretty damn impressed with what I've seen so far from that spot in this draft class. And it seems like that's definitely going to be a target. I feel like with the second or third round pick.
Yeah, honestly, I really like the safety class. I mean, because there's day 3 guys like VJ Payne. He's an athletic freak. He's has some pretty good film. I like Robert Spears Jennings, even though I got yelled at the other day for drafting him at a tackle, but I like him. I think he hits really hard. He ran a 4.3. You know what I mean? Like a 4.32 or some shit like that. He is just, you can see the athleticism because when I did a Draft Professors episode on the safeties, on some day 3 safeties, and I watched him, I was like, his grades on PFF, I was, man, this guy's gonna be that good. And I was watching him just move, and I was like, yo, this dude hits really hard, and I could tell how this dude's really athletic. I could just see it, like how fast he was moving and the speed he had, and he was like covering slot receivers. I'm like, this dude kind of play, and that's what I'm saying. Like we can get some of these athletic freak safeties, like in maybe the day 3 too. Like I just hope that they focus on this position. That's why, like with the wide receivers, it got to be worried. It's like, man, I get it. Kubiak, you want to get a wide receiver. I understand. Like you're looking at these guys, like who's going to be my Z? Like who can I run this a blaze out against a safety? I just don't see that guy, and I get it. But man, do they need some safeties? You know what I mean? That's how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way too. I mean, I would be curious too if anyone pressed him or asked him about like the nose tackle, and if he kind of said the same thing, because again, I feel like that's the two spots like defensively where you're like those are the two very glaring holes on defense right now. And I think on top of it too, they're looking into quite a few corners. Like I feel like the same kind of conclusions we've drawn with wide receivers, we could probably look into a few more of those guys. Like I know Chris Johnson was there recently. I think someone else, and maybe it was Randy I was thinking of, but yeah, they've had a handful of corners in there too, and that's another spot I think that they really like this draft class just based on who they brought in for visits and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, let's just do some Dante.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys know from the jump. We have no pass rush clips. I had two that I thought about including, but I'm like, this doesn't paint the picture accurately, and I think both of them were from, or at least one of them was from the past. So just gonna be focusing on the run defense, and to keen you guys in, the Oklahoma game 2023, Texas Tech 2024, Arizona and TCU 2025 to kind of paint the timeline here. This is an old Oklahoma clip because that is Dylan Gabriel starting for Oklahoma when Oklahoma was still in the Big 12. So to give you guys an idea of how far we're going back in the time machine. But focusing on Dante Corleone, again, this is when he was a little bit leaner, first year in the Big 12. Now, this is a rep too where like he ends up making the play, so it would be one of the things that we're like, I'm not going to say anything to him if I'm coaching him up. But with the way Cincinnati's playing this with Oklahoma basically being in an empty formation and then rotating or motioning the receiver into the backfield, with a 5-man box, he's 2-gapping. And typically when you're 2-gapping, you want to favor the strong side. And especially when you get a hard outside zone run like this, like you want to stay in this gap, stay in the play side gap first, and then kind of cross face and cover your secondary gap if you have to. Whereas what he does is he does a good job of recognizing the blocking scheme and keeping his feet moving to avoid getting reached or scooped. But he kind of uses this little like hump move and takes a risk going in the wrong side of the gap when obviously you can see like the ball carrier's trying to get to the right side of the line here. Mm-hmm. But again, you end up making the play. I'm not going to say a word. So like this one from the standpoint of just how he keeps his feet moving too. And two, this is a good example of how he uses his hands to take on blocks and then defeat it.
Yeah.
Just a little nitpicky thing for me.
Is that this is from this year?
No, this is 2023.
That's what I was like.
Yeah, we got Dylan Gabriel at quarterback right now.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. Again, this is probably one of the plays I wouldn't expect from him just based off last year's film, but just kind of trying to paint the picture for you guys if he can keep his weight down and what he can do. Again, really good job. Cincinnati loves slanting their defensive line. You're going to see that in a lot of clips. He just does a great job of slanting and then immediately getting his hands up and playing on this guard.
Yeah.
He like stands up or kind of stands him up and kind of wins control of that block.
Good Lord.
And then on top of it too, just uses his hands and crosses the face. Again, I don't think we're going to see that much if the Raiders end up getting him moving forward, but is something he has in the bag. Kind of the same clip, just this one's even more dominant. And like you can just see the quickness and like the lateral movement skills, and that just isn't quite there anymore. Boom, on top of it too, natural leverage. This is a great job of striking and then getting that head pop on that this guard, able to cross face and get involved in the tackle. In 2024 now, shout out Caleb Rogers for this great block on this defensive man getting a little.
There you go, Caleb.
Yeah, there we go. Well, part of the reason why I point that out too, want to give us some love to Caleb, but also on top of it too, like just watch where Coreleone is and where the rest of the D line finishes.
Good Lord.
We got about 3-4 yards of separation from him. And again, this is what I'm talking about where like he's got the plenty of strength to stand up and kind of fill up the gaps in the nose. Like you'll see on this little inside zone concept that or little just halfback dive, I guess it is, concept from Texas Tech. Like he just disrupts this play, like just walks the center in the backfield for a couple of yards, resets the line of scrimmage, and then just makes the running back dance, plays a little peekaboo with him. And that gives that safety where to paint the picture, like this is how much ground the safety covered, and ends up getting like a 5-yard tackle for loss, all because the nose just drove the center back about 5 yards. And again, that kind of saved the day there because the rest of the D-line was not exactly holding their end of the bargain. Goal line play here. Again, just see the strength at the point of attack. Just standing guys up.
Yeah.
This time escapes just enough to make that tackle.
Yeah, you can see how short the arms though are. It's just you could really tell.
For sure. Like you can see it on this one too. Like he's fully extended. Granted, it's not the cleanest rep because he's kind of in an awkward spot. And we'll see better examples too. But like, I mean, our right guard here has his elbow bent and still is able to get hands on him. I think this next one's actually an even better example, but yeah. Like you can see, like he's not even like he makes this play, and don't get me wrong, this is a good rep by all means. 2 gap in here on this one too, and then similar to that Texas Tech clip where he just kind of walks the center into the backfield to reset the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and he gets away enough. And what I do like is he's strong enough that he can make tackles with offensive linemen hanging on to him, but he's going to have to because offensive linemen are going to hang on to him. Yeah, like this center is engaged with him the entire time, like has his hands on his chest, even with him like locking the center out. That's where those short arms are a hindrance. Still makes the play though, so pretty impressive. Getting into a few combo blocks here. This one's not the best example of what I was talking about keeping guys clean.
This is wild to watch. 2023 is wild. I see why people got so hyped about him.
No, for sure. He had plenty of buzz going into this year because this film was pretty damn good. I liked him a lot too, and then of course just kind of fell off the cliff. But but what I was saying is this isn't the greatest example because the center's kind of going out to block the defensive end anyway for the counter call. But you can see a little bit. Hopefully, you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about of how he does a great job on these combo blocks of attacking the guy with his hands. To at least get hands on him and disrupt his path. Like if this guy was going to climb up to this backer, take a more vertical path. Like he'd Corleone would be a good spot to alter him. It's just he's just coming flat down the line. And then on top of it too, one thing that I really like that Corleone does well, and we'll see a bunch of examples of this, is watch how he turns his shoulders here to split the combo block. And what that does is that just makes this guard's job a lot harder. It gives him less surface area to block. And on top of it, Corleone's so dense and so strong that he can absorb contact, and especially when they're not getting clean blocks on him. I mean, he's not even affected by that, and he ends up getting the TFL on that one.
Yeah, it's just wild how quicker he is. It's wild.
Yeah, for sure. You can probably tell like this past season. Like I'll back this up. Maybe you can tell like this was him a little bit bigger than what we saw. This was him, in 2023 before he had all the medical issues. He just seems like a lot leaner versus like not the greatest angle here, but let's see if I can get one where he's clean. Like you can kind of see a little bit, like see him put on a little bit of the bad weight. But
he's a big boy now.
He is. He is a big boy. Back to the actual clip. This is pretty similar to that clip we just saw where, again, he does a great job of getting hands on. Just center's going to attack the D end that's slanting into the B gap there. It's a little bit different, but the shoulder turn to get skinny or as skinny as he can to kind of split that double team. That's exactly why he ends up getting that tackle and making that play right at the line of scrimmage. He did this pretty frequently last season where just get his hands on the center, turn your shoulder into the guard, turn your butt into the guard. Get penetration, get knife in there, go make the play.
For sure.
This one's probably the best example of him just being able to keep a guy clean. Like I want 22, he kind of ruined this for me because I think 22 can do a better job of being like aggressive and now like using his athleticism to work under to beat the center's block here. But again, like you can see like he does a great job of getting hands on, like turns the shoulders a little bit, but not anything bad where he's going to get flagged for holding. So good job towing the line here. But similar to that first clip I was talking about with the Oklahoma one, in an ideal world, you'd like to see him stay on this side of the center and tie both of these guys up at the line of scrimmage. But again, that's me just being more nitpicky because what I like is, again, just gets hands on the center, disrupt this path to the second level. And on top of it, again, get skinny, turn that hip into that guard. Yeah. And like that, with that, and the fact that he's able to gain some ground vertically while moving laterally here on the outside zone call, can allow him to get some penetration. And you can see that forces the running back to cut back. That cuts the field in half, just because he's using this center almost as to propel him into the backfield. On top of it too, just splitting that combo block. Running back's got to cut all the way back into some unblocked defenders.
Yeah, that's a good play. I mean, that's when you see a nose tackle make a play like that, they don't get don't get the numbers, but
yeah, for sure. This is why you only have 15 tackles, but like an 80 PFF grade against the reps like those ones. Yeah. Yeah. Another one too. I think he just does a good job of just winning at the point of attack, kind of in an awkward spot. The other reason why I included this, like if you notice this, I'll back this up. If you look at his right ankle here, oh no, he actually was taped up on this one too, but I swear earlier in the game it was not taped. And like this one, he's got it on there too, and like got a bad angle, loses his footing, and still is just plugging up the gaps. I guess this inside zone concept forces that running back to bounce backside. We just have no edge presence from Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I don't know.
One
of these two jokers. One of these two jokers needs this. Yeah,
the linebacker is my size. Number 31. He's about the same size as me right now.
We're getting crazy now. I don't know if he's that.
Oh no, Corleone's only 6 foot, man.
This is true. That's true. Actually, you might be right. I thought Torian York was the shortest linebacker in college football last year. Maybe not. But yeah, Cincinnati got problems with that one, and they missed nothing of Corleone's fault. So again, this is another one, kind of the same type of thing where just does a great job of getting hands on the center. I guess on this one doesn't quite get hands, but just does a great job of turning into the guard to get skinny. Like you can see, like if you just watch the running back's eyes, like he's originally trying to hit it right here between the guard and the center. But as soon as he sees Corleone already winning and getting penetration, he just immediately goes backside.
Yeah.
No, again, Cincinnati. Not the greatest run fit on that one.
Yeah. I don't
they just play so many light boxes, but
yeah, that's true.
All right, we'll wrap up here with this last clip. Again, just highlights more of the strength than anything. I mean, this is textbook cutting the field in half. Now, granted, they're kind of running to that side anyway, but especially with the action that the Cincinnati has going on here, where it looks like they're just letting Corleone one gap this time and slant into the A gap, and then we got him slant. I think he's going to slant strong. Excuse me, sorry about that. And 22 is going to kind of wrap around here. Now, do get a misassignment here by the right guard. The right guard. But that just frees up 22 here to be in a good spot to make the play. And on top of it, too, like that, any cutback lane, any lane to this side or any opportunity to bounce it is taken away.
Clogged up.
Cutting the field now. So again, that's Dante Corleone. Again, I wouldn't expect he's the nose tackle that you're never going to expect to show up on the stat sheet too much. But what you can do is you can trust him to stay in the gap and plug up rushing lanes up in the middle. Like I said at the intro, he could go undrafted, and I wouldn't question it, just because of how those medicals check out. So, be interested to hear if there's any sort of limitations on him as practice wise. But he can definitely plug up gaps in the run game. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like he does one job really well, and it's just wild to see the difference between him in 2023 and like now. Like this is crazy. I mean, he looked like he might be a first round type of guy. Being 318, you're right around Lee Hunter. You know what I mean? And he kind of had that feel to him. So it felt like, so it's kind of a little bit of a sad story too. A little bit kind of see.
Yeah, it's
it's not really something that's not really in his control. But you hope a guy like that he could just keep losing that weight and he can get back to what he was like.
I had some 2022 clips that I thought about throwing in there, but I'm like, we can't go 4 years back. And those were really, especially against the old American, like those were some damn impressive clips of him being quick and strong as hell. It was. Maybe we'll see if they draft him. I'll throw some of those together. Be like, all right, this is the peak.
Yeah, this is just too much. Yeah, give people the wrong idea. You go that far, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right. So you know how we do. So you do short, intermediate, deep here. So start off with a little comeback route, of course. And you can see the sudden movement he has, right? I mean, he's getting off coverage here. He's not getting press coverage. The guy goes into bail really quickly, right? It looks like they're playing some cover 3 here. But you can see how he doesn't have any wasted steps on that little hitch, right? I mean, that's why you could tell there is some good route running ability with him and some good change of direction that maybe if he's not that, dominant X receiver, that you could do a lot with him just right here. Boom. Good route right there, quick. Tough to tackle in space. Get some extra yards there. So, right. Like I said, not a lot of wasted movement. Then we'll come back to the football. We'll come back to the football. All right.
Off the board.
Yeah. I got one in from Matt that it really won me over. This is what the real reason why I like McAlister. But here we go. There's another one. I like this route because you just see it, how he just stems it. I think I posted this one on Twitter here. But what I like about this one, I mean, he really is selling a post or some kind of inside route. Maybe like a dig route or something. Just you can tell by the stem, right? And his eyes, right? So his eyes are upfield. You see zero. He starts to get in full bail technique here, right? And basically, this is where you just kind of see him just kind of stop on a dime, get flat here too.
Yeah.
And nice route right there.
There you go.
So yeah, it's very he's very has a lot of Z skills. Let's just say that. Boom. Nice, nice throw. And he's good hands too. Only 7 drops all year. Of course, I'm going to show one of them because to make a point. But right there. Boom. Nice route. Nice job getting flat there too. All right, so this was just a quick slant. What I like about this one, this was about you can move him around, right? So you see he's inside the slot here. And what I like is him attacking this linebacker first. You can see him kind of just slant inside right there. Let's kind of go back there a little bit. So I'm telling you what I mean. So stuff right here, like you can see his eyes coming, kind of attack the linebacker. Basically make the linebacker feel him a little bit, right? Just maybe where you see this linebacker, he basically, to me, he goes too far outside. Right. And he kind of just frees up this whole slant. And I think that a lot to do with that is McAlister having his eyes on him and kind of running at him first. You kind of see it. It kind of looks like an in route instead of a slant. But yeah, right there. But it's a good catch. Like I said, he could break tackles in open field. You can see it right here. Boom. That's saying you could not tackle this kid. But he's tough to tackle, man. He gets a lot of yak. Mm-hmm. All right, here's another out route here. This one gets to Cincinnati. Just clean. But like I said, a lot of this is against off coverage here. I mean, you kind of see it, another bail here from Cincinnati, right? But what he does really well, it's him selling that go there, right? You're gonna see have that head downfield, right? You can even have the corner feels the pressure, man. He feels like he's about to, take off to that go route, and he just quick change of direction, right? No wasted movement there, nothing fancy here, just a good clean route. Boom, sells it, then gets outside right there. Good catch. What's your right here? Boom, just easy. Josh Hoover's not that bad, man. I think he's going to have a pretty good year in Indiana. Yeah. It's going to cause a lot of conversation with Mendoza. Watch.
He's the next Mendoza.
He's got some more talent. That's what I just say that. Okay. All right. So I just put this one because he comes back to football. He actually drops this pass, but watch him come back to the football. He's already just because I know it's a thing on this breakdown. He's going to real little comeback here, and you can see this zone opening here. And Hoover, brings it to look how much he comes back to the football. Of course, he dropped it,
but he came back to it.
I mean, this is what you want to see, kids, right here. You watch it with your son. He plays wide receiver. Here you go, right here. Come back to the football, catch the ball. Of course, look at that, because him coming back to the football, it made this a catch, right? I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, it could have been picked or anything like that, but sold, right, Matt, right there.
I like to the fearlessness to go into the 3 defenders,
Yeah, exactly. All right, and this one he doesn't get the football, just a great route though.
Yeah, that's nice.
And this one is against press coverage here. He did a lot better job against press coverage against Kansas State. So I don't know, maybe that's just the corner. You know what I'm saying? SMU and even Cincinnati gave him a little more issues there, so that's where you saw it. But this is a good route. It's a good arm over there, right there. nice fight. Just make sure you get that stem inside on this dig route, right? You can see a little quick, it's a quick jab step right there. The inside arm over. You're wide open for a dig.
Yeah. I like those couple like stair steps back up the field to really sell it to help get him open.
So he's a good route runner, man. He is. I just think you got to move him around a little bit. I think some stronger corners are going to give him a little issue. All right, so here's another free release here, a little on the dig route. What I like about this one is him keeping the line here. I think this makes it easier to throw for Hoover here. Because, right, nothing fancy about the route against zone coverage, against cover 3. What I like is when he gets around to this 40, he gets to a straight line here, right, which allows Hoover kind of just make sure that he hits him right on this 40-yard line, which kind of keeps him away from this defender right here. Right, this linebacker, right? Yeah. Right? I mean, they're playing this dig route pretty well, but he does a good job of getting right on that 40 and then, embracing the contact too.
Yeah.
Good job protecting himself there too, understanding that he's going to get hit. So he's a tough guy. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's tough. We obviously figured out, at his pro day, he jumped to 28. You got to be comfortable at your pro day, right? You got the facility, you got the snack guy, the cafe guys there. Everything's normal. And you know what I mean? You're questioning you a little bit there. Another dig route, what I like about this one too, is just the pacing, right? Make sure you got the timing with the quarterback. This is against zone coverage here. You know what I'm saying? But you get that free release, right? It looks like they get in cover 2 here. You get that free release. Of course, this is my favorite play, white cross here. But what you see from him though is he gets flat here and then paces himself. Like he doesn't really overrun the route, which allows him to get open inside of this zone, right? Where this linebacker who has no idea where he's at, I guess the linebacker, he's running to a spot. I guess, what I mean?
Yeah. If that's the linebacker, I think it is. That makes sense.
Because I don't know where he's going. But anyways, he does a good job pacing that, right? And then he has a great hands catch there. And then this is what you get from him in the open field. He just breaks the tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird just to make a contested catch. He's so tough over the middle. Just boom, bounce off him, right? And then he makes that guy miss right there. It's weird. It really is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and you touched on it too. Like, I just like how he doesn't run himself into coverage. Like, I noticed that on the last clip too, and I think you pointed out. Like, he makes the cut and understands when he can throttle down a little bit.
Yeah, which makes it easy for the quarterback. I mean, when you're allows him to come back to the dig, right? Because it's white cross. You go 1, 2, 3, right? Allows him to get to 3 here, right? And he understands that he's 3. Right? That means he has to pace it. You can't just overrun it because it takes the quarterback a little while and he gets that ball right there. Makes a great catch. Let me see it from this side here. Who has a good placement? I'll tell you. No.
Yeah. Hoover might be the guy next year.
He might. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Signetti does. If he could make Curtis work or 11, I know. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, see, this one is not really contested, but it's concentration. I just like that he's able to help his quarterback out here.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing fancy here, right? So just see routes, just like dagger here because you're getting this dig route here. Hoover gets out of the pocket, and what I like is him just staying on the move with his quarterback. He even runs a route on this guy. Basically, this guy is, kind of freaking out to get to this vertical here. He does a good job. He understands that this corner does not see what's happening back here that fast enough. He just makes a nice move on there, right? Gets wide open for it, basically. And then Hoover makes the throw right there. And then it's a tough catch. Boom, catch the football. That's what I'm talking about. And then break a tackle, touchdown.
Score. All right. Okay.
Well, he went for 250 in this game and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
So
he was feeling himself on this one.
SMU could not tackle this guy, man. As you can see through a couple clips of This is gay. They could not tackle him, but you can see it's super interesting. He really didn't jump that high. That vertical leap.
He's lucky. He's almost 6'4".
Good Lord. Great play though. This is guys. See something. Sometimes you can just see things on film. You know what I mean? That's why they go back to the film for things. Right? Like, interesting. All right. So this is another way of him just breaking tackles and just being a beast. Getting deep. He had 156 against K-State. Jeez. But all right. So on this one, like I say, a lot better against press coverage against 25 here. I don't know who this guy is, but if you want to watch some good press coverage beaters here by McAlister, you're going to have to watch this one here. But as you can see, even then, right, maybe you don't see the long speed. You do see that he has a little bit of leverage, but I mean, this is really, to be honest, it's a way better throw than route.
Yeah.
But he does a great job of having late hands there. I mean, if we want to talk about some savvy receiver stuff, he has very late hands on this one. Like his hands are completely down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it from the backside. But then the rest of it is him just breaking the tackle and then breaking away.
Yeah. You say 156 yards and 85 of them on that one?
Yeah, basically. All right, because you just see it. The late hands. Great catch right there.
Nice ball.
Yeah, because you see it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a better throw than. But you can use watch the corner. Watch the corner here. You see how lost the corner is? But
yeah.
He has no idea where the ball is.
Yeah.
It's a great play. That's textbook. All right, another one here on this deep post. A little cream route right there. And, get a little contested catch on this one. So basically on this one, the post route, just another good job of just making sure he sells that go route. As you kind of even see him even have this corner where he's starting to angle towards it. And then he cuts back inside and he's wide open there. Now, Hoover underthrows this one, but he does a good job of just, concentrating and making sure he brings in that football. I'm trying not to laugh at this vertical leap anymore, man. This is should not have told me that.
My bad. I should have waited. I should have said that.
I would probably be saying nicer things about it. Like then you just see it, like it's like, oh, yeah, it's 28 inches. Yeah, that's
curious what it is on RAS. What the score was for that?
Because for a 6'4" guy jump in, I feel like this should be just a little bit of an easier catch, so you kind of see it, right?
Yeah. Oh God. Sorry, I didn't look at the RAS for it. We'll get to that once you're done with your breakdown.
All right. So that's why he's a day 3 guy, obviously.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's another one. It's a good route on the slant, though. I really like this route. This is, give him a full diamond release here. All right, sell it. Boom. Get inside. And the ball's thrown a little bit behind him. Good catch. Like I said, great hands. But then this is what I'm talking about. Then they can't tackle him. This is him breaking tackles in the open field. Boom. Breaks that tackle.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I like the yak ability. I like that he just basically refuses to go down, never says die.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's why this is a wide receiver. I know they haven't had him for a top 30 visit, but I still think this is a guy they're going to like because even with the athleticism issues, like he is kind of a receiver built for the system a little bit. You just don't try to turn him into a full X like kind of what TCU is doing a little bit.
Gotcha.
They give you movement in the slot, make him a big slot where he has to, make contested catches like that and have him throw fades because that's what they did to him a lot. But here's another one on the outside. Just another quick slant here, right? Just quickly in and out of the break. But I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Just get off me.
I feel like there have been a few TCU receivers who just these big dudes who can run. Like what was from the Chargers since Quentin Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've had a few of them recently.
I forget. I think a guy came out last year that was pretty big too. I forgot.
Yeah. That Josh Doxson guy.
Yeah.
Never man to pan out.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, that's McAlister, man. I think, like I said, I think there's a lot to like. Of course, his athletic profile, obviously. What's the RAS, man? I just ruined it from here.
So just looking at just the vertical jump alone, again, 28.5 inches, which we know is bad. What would you think is the RAS out of 10?
Probably in the 3 or 4s.
Less.
Okay. So maybe, he's just, it's hard to sell that athletic profile like that for a wide receiver. So that's like, it's hard for me to sell it now. That's what I'm thinking. Like, oh man, he's damn.
So
I should look that up before I did this. But anyways,
you want to take another guess at the number?
1.6.
Less.
Okay. Anyways, I don't even. What's the number, Matt?
0.43. So what would that be? The 0.43%? I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it translates like that, but
he's one of the worst athletes of all time to come out. All right.
Well, no, that's not his full RAS is a 5.86. I'm just talking about the vertical jump score specifically was 0.
Yeah, you scared me.
No. He was a 5.86, which isn't a good number by any means, but
no, it's not. He's average.
Yeah, but yeah, when I pulled that up, I'm like, I gotta see what that is.
Okay, but yeah, he's a good athlete, but not a good athlete. He's an average athlete, but I still think he's somebody that you can move around. You can see what you can do with him. And he's a tough guy, right? He's tough, breaks a lot of tackles, a lot of yak ability, which they really like in this offense. So I do think he's a fit, though. I really do. I think you just can't play him like an X. He's not an X. That's what he did at TCU. And I think you got to move him around and make sure that you get him some easier matchups in the NFL because he's going to be facing bigger, stronger corners. I think when they get their hands on him, and I said when you saw it against Cincinnati, you saw it against even some part of the SMU when they couldn't tackle him, but when they got their hands on him early, they were able to control him a little bit. So those issues are still there, but I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff to like. And again, when we're talking about, day 3 guys, which is kind of where we're at in this process because we started so early back in October. I feel like he's kind of like a guy that you want, like a guy that you have the frame that you can work with, and maybe you can make him into a complete receiver or something like that, or get a little bit more out of him. And on top of it, the fact that you like him to be able to move around, that could make him a good fit. So for a day 3 guy, and for probably a mid to late day 3 guy at that, like, not a bad option, especially if they don't walk away with a receiver in the first 2 days of the draft.
Yeah, for sure, dude. All right, guys. So we are out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is the last week, man. This is draft. This is next week.
I know, man.
It's gonna be a busy week for us next week. Could do giving away the duffel bag finally. People have been asking for the duffel bag. Actually, what would I do with it? I was going to show it, but I'll save that. I'm gonna give away a duffel bag on draft night. Probably maybe round 2 we'll do that. Since I don't know, I'm still gonna live stream the whole draft probably, but we'll think of something. We'll do something because if they trade, what if they trade back in? That'd be the
whole round 1. I mean, if we just do the Raiders pick for round 1, it's gonna be a short live stream. I don't know if people will be home in time by the time to catch it. So
yeah, that's for sure, dude. All right, but we're out of here, guys. Peace.